You have to bear with me 2 seconds, ladies and gents. Just set the camera up properly. Hope everyone's doing well. Bit of a random live this evening on this Sunday's Mother's Day Sunday as such. Yeah, I thought I would just check in because I didn't put a Sunday video out. I just thought I'd come out for a bit of coy chat, bit of banter, see where it goes, because you never know what happens with these lives. So just wait for a few people to come into the room. It seems it's Sunday. There might be a few people to join us. Been busy. To be fair, not really done a lot today, being Mother's Day myself personally. Don't know why all the koi are hanging out near the shower filter, to be honest. But yeah, had a bit of a chilled one myself. Decent banging roast dinner. Laid out like a beach whale after I finished consuming all of that. Put a movie on Netflix. And now the wife's watching something on TV, which doesn't entertain me. So I thought I'd come out here in the garden, well, in the conservatory in the warm, and just come on live and just see who's about. So who have we got in the room? We've got Ian's in the room. Yes, Guy. Yeah, I hope everyone's had a good day today, good Sunday. Spoilt their wife or mums or mother for Mother's Day. Collie Coy, how you doing? Yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen in the live, but I thought I'd just come on and say hello, see what's going on, see what people's been up to. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. I haven't got the mics on or the microphones in. "27 people in the room already. If you are in the room, say hello, don't be shy. Anything koi related, questions, koi banter, koi chat, write it down in the comment section and we'll have a bit of a yibbity yabbada. And I do apologise if I can't read out your names properly. Sometimes it can get a bit tricky pronouncing some of them, but do try my best. And if the camera moves a bit, it's because it's a little bit windy here now and then, getting little gust of winds coming in underneath the side of the conservatory. Nice Sunday evening, yeah, certainly is. Hi Chris from, how you doing? 57 people in the room, few people in this evening. You had a busy day today, mate? I sorted out the media for the backy shower and it's ready to fill up tomorrow. Happy days. Yeah, it's been quite a nice day out there today, to be honest. Get a bit of work done. To be honest, I ain't gonna lie to you, I haven't done hardly anything today apart from cook a banging roast dinner, chilled out with the family, had a proper nice Sunday off, to be honest. Sometimes it's nice to sit back and just chill for a bit instead of go, go, go. Huge fan, you should visit and see. Hello from Ilfracombe. How you doing? 74 people in the room. Certainly tell us a Sunday evening. 74 people in the room And I do know there's only 2 likes on the video at the moment, so if you don't mind, do us a massive favour. If you're watching, smash that like button for me. Let me see those 2 likes go up to 20 likes. It'll be very much appreciated. There's a lot of people that do forget to hit the like button on the video, and it means a lot to content creators, because it certainly does help. And I can see who likes the video and not. Boss level, make it free. Evening dude, thank you very much. Let's get those likes up please, ladies and gents. Hi mate, how old is your oldest koi? So the oldest one I've got in this pond at the moment, it's got to be over 10 years old now. But the oldest koi that I own is the one over in the grow on a fish called Tango. But to be fair, the reason, I apologise if this wind keeps catching the camera, I've got it as best as I can here. Yeah, the main reason why I've come live this evening is the wife, we just finished watching a movie, Warzone I think it was called, or something like that, on Netflix, and yeah, now she's watching some drama thing on TV which does my head in, so I'm like, can't be doing with this, sweetheart. I'll come out. I had the lights on the pond anyway, and I thought just as well come live and have a bit of a koi chat for half an hour or so. 53 people in the room, some people coming and going, I suppose, dropping in, saying hello, seeing what I'm up to. I do know people click on it and then click off just to see what it's all about. But I do appreciate it, sorry, if you are in the room, just to hit that like button while you're in. How many years you've been keeping koi? Well, keeping them properly, I would have said about 6 years, I would have said, but I've kept koi for a lot longer, but not really knowing what I was doing. The time flies so quickly these days, you can't remember sometimes how many years ago or what year you started, or well, I can't anyway. I've chucked about 3 or 4 pellets in here, and these fish are all just sat over here thinking that more's coming over and they're dropping in this corner. Hello mate, love the videos, thank you very much appreciated. So yeah, just a little quick shout out, we have got a few events on. There's a koi evening event at Southwest Koi on the 26th of March, 7 PM. There's going to be a good little koi event, koi evening. They've got a raffle on. They've got Liam that makes a koi magazine, Nishigoi Koi magazine. He's coming down to do a bit of a talk, bit of experience of going to Japan, a bit of talk on all of the photography that he takes of the pictures, different quality fish that he sees and takes pictures of at the shows and stuff. The bloke's got a hell of a lot of knowledge. And yeah, it's good to listen. He's definitely well spoken as well, so it'll be a good old little turnout on the 26th of March at Southwest Koi. So if you are local to the Bristol area, or if you're thinking about coming down, staying, there is a hotel like less than 10-15 minutes away. If you did want to come down, pop in for the evening, stay over, make a bit of a night of it. He's putting on drinks and everything. And one extra thing as well, I just want to mention as well that I did put a post out today on the community page, but Perfect Aquatics Competitions just dropped a new raffle or competition on their page, which there's 8 or 9 Nexuses up for grabs, along with a load of other Evolution Aqua products. But if you do want to go and check out their page, if you use my discount code, which is all capitals, J and then a T and then a K and then a W, you'll also receive an extra discount on any of the tickets that you decide to purchase from their website. If you're trying to look for the link for that, you can go onto my community page, you can look where the posts are, and I've left the links there, so you can hit the link and go straight to their competition page. But yeah, they just dropped a new competition this morning, I believe it was, or last night, and I noticed it myself, so I thought I'd just as well share it with you guys, with loads of instant win prizes on there as well. Had a question, just had something. What's this? What's the best place for equipment in our area, mate? So it depends what equipment that you're after. I mean, if you want to go and look at something personally, I generally venture up to Southwest Koi because it's got so much dry goods stock there. But yeah, it depends what you're after. A lot of people these days, and I'm not going to lie, I do it myself, unless you want to physically look at a product or look at something, I generally just order stuff offline, to be honest, if you haven't seen it yet. But I do like going myself, like if I'm going to buy something, I like going into the shop, looking at it before I buy it, because the amount of stuff that I've bought off the internet, the picture looks great, and then when it turns up, it's not the same as what it is when it comes through the post as such. Boss level, first time I've cycled a pond with no fish, just added ammonia this time, it's taking forever. Fair play, mate. That's what I'm running now, a Nexus 220 auto. Yeah, I still think, you know, once you get fish in there, building up the bacteria in the pond, it certainly gives it a helping hand what you've done anyway, but get the fish in the pond and just, sounds like you know what you're doing anyway, mate, to be honest. Tim fitted all my filters, QNK, his boys did anyway. Fair play. They've been sat in a pool for the last few months. Yeah, the amount of people now at the moment are certainly considering building a pond and that. With the weather fluctuations which is happening at the moment, I mean, last week we've had really good weather, but this week, especially, I mean, local down here in Devon, we have had, especially yesterday, it got really cold. Pond temperatures down at 9 degrees at the moment, so I am certainly thinking about putting the air source heat pump on now just to keep everything maintained, because I have started feeding the past couple of weeks, only twice a day and chucking in a little bit. Boss level, I know nothing, always learning. Yeah, true, but you must know something, so we all know something, don't we? It's all part of the hobby you're interested in, but I do like the fact of keeping it open and, you know, always being able to take on board or learn something anyway. Mine's keeping heat well, it's a sleeper pond, not even heated yet. Fair play. But yeah, has anyone been up to much this Sunday, koi wise? Anyone done any DIY to their pond? Bit of a clean out, filter change, water changes. I expect a lot of people's probably like me, a bit keen, want the koi season to start off. Thanks to channels like yours, mate, I learnt a lot. Happy days, that's what it's all about. And that's the good thing with loads of different channels, because you can learn so much off, you know, take a little bit from everyone, because if everyone done everything the same, it'd be a boring old life, wouldn't it? But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to get out there, clean the pond windows, give it a good old spruce up. I've got a few things booked in, a few different people planned, which will be announced and shown on the channel soon. So this week I've got people coming down to visit me, so keep your eyes open on the channel over the next couple of weeks. Time I get the videos edited, posted and put up on the channel. I did actually manage to pick up the bits and pieces I needed when I was at Southwest Koi a couple of days ago 3 or 4 days ago. Picked up the bits I need myself personally, because for the people that don't know, I'm renewing the shower filter on the pond, and I needed a few little bits of pipe work, so I've got all those bits ready to rock and roll. And obviously for the people that saw the video, I did I've got to read a comment because there's one held for review. Sometimes YouTube do that. I'll show it. I don't know why YouTube sometimes hold comments, mate, but that's just YouTube holding them for restrictions. I had 24 years ago, went for a long, kinda had this time saying it was an exorcist, etc. I don't know why they held that comment. But yeah, let's see if we can get these likes up, please. It'd be very much appreciated. People come and go in the live. It's always very much appreciated if you can hit the like button for me. Another comment held for a review. I don't know what that is. Why would they hold that for a review? Never mind. So yeah, I want a shower the same size as the one you're replacing. Fair play, mate. Yeah, so that shower that I am replacing is I'm still yet to decide if I'm going to put it up for auction and then donate the money to a charity, or if I'm just going to do a giveaway with it and then do a bit of a spin the wheel with all the people that enter to win it. So I'm still a little bit undecided yet. When I get the new one in place, we'll go from there, really. AI is monitoring the chats now, mate. Fair play. It's just weird, isn't it, why sometimes they some comments get restricted or monitored, or obviously if there's verbal abuse in a comment, then I completely understand it, but sometimes I just wonder what's going on. Are you feeding yet, Jim? Yeah, only very, very slowly, like I'll probably chuck about 20 pellets out while I'm on live now at the moment, which is nothing really. And then the feed is going off twice a day on the lowest setting possible. Boss level high. Karaoke Koi. Will's Koi, looking forward to this season, lad. Yes, certainly am, mate, 100%. Got loads of things planned for this year as well. Obviously, I don't want to give everything away. Spoil everything I've got away. Check out all the stickers in there. That's using the emojis to the maximum. Fair play. Sorry if I am moving the camera around, it's just trying to keep it propped up without it blowing over. Who else have we got in the room then? Good day from the northeast mountains in the USA. Happy days. Nice to see you in the room, mate. Very much appreciated. Have I ever shown that Sankey? No, never shown none of the fish in the pond. Main reason being is because I show them all of the time through the YouTube channel. In my opinion, I love the shows, I love going to the shows, but I do think it's each to your own with showing fish. Depends where you're at or what you want to do with the hobby. For a lot of people, that means, you know, a hell of a lot to them about growing the best fish, you know, taking it to a show, whether that be to actually show the pure quality of the fish, which I completely get and understand. But for me personally, you know, to win a plastic trophy, if that makes sense, with the the stress factor that it can put on a fish. It doesn't always put on a fish, and I'm not against it, because without the shows and without people doing it, I wouldn't be able to go myself. But myself personally, for me to bag up the fish, to take them to win a plastic trophy, for the, you know, putting a fish at risk, which is there's a loads of factors into it. It's something that I haven't really got into or ventured into. Not to say that I never ever will or won't, but yeah, just where I'm at with it really. In my eyes, I look at it, if I did take a fish to a show and something happened, you know, and it can happen. These fish they are well looked after when they're at the shows. They are under very good management when they're at the shows, being looked after by the people that's running the shows. But anything can happen. And if I lost any of my fish because I took one to a show to win a trophy as such, I don't think I'd ever forgive myself. So I think, in my opinion, I show my fish on the channel on a regular basis. That's my way of showing the fish. But I certainly appreciate everyone that takes their fish to a show, because me, myself personally, being a hobbyist as well, I love going and seeing the pure quality and beauty of some of the fish that people's grown, developed. I love all of that as well, so I'm not against it, I just don't do it myself. And I do apologise about if any of the comments that you're typing in get held for review, even if they're completely fine. It's just something which YouTube has started doing now. I don't know why. What beautiful koi pond there is on the left side, with orange, white and a little bit of black. Karaoke koi is the same regarding shows and catching my fish. I just wondered, as it is a big beauty. Yeah, no, completely understand, mate, completely understand. My favourite koi is a £6 silver ghost, had him for 15 years or more. Happy days. Garden centre. Yeah, that's where my tango come from, was a garden centre. Mine cost me £30, I believe, though, when I bought that. But yeah, I do love going to the shows. And talking to shows, just go and grab it, just pick it up. So, I picked up a leaflet when I was at the koi dealer the other day. The National 2026. And you'll probably see it if you go to any koi dealer, but from the Saturday 27th to the Sunday 28th, I'll be going to this show. I love going to this show, and yeah, a little bit of a plug for these guys as well, really, because they put on a fantastic job doing what they do there. And I love the ground where it's there, it's clean, it's tidy, it's on a massive scale. All of the koi dealers that go there very much appreciate everything that they do as well. And I appreciate everyone that takes their fish to the shows as well. But I do think, you know, so the hobbies are all over the place. You've got people that just have koi in their garden and just like looking after them as pets. You've got people out there that like buying decent quality fish and just keep it to themselves, keep it personal. And then you've also got the people that are solely buying fish and moving around fish purely for the show, to win a trophy. I mean, some people, once they've won a trophy, or they won a size or class in a certain fish, once they've won that trophy, they sell the fish and start again next year. So the hobby's it's all over the place, depending what you want from it. And you know, there's no right or wrong thing or decision to make. Whatever you're doing to enjoy. Once you've had your enjoyment out of a certain fish and you think that it's not going to do well in a show next year, and you think, right, I'll move it on and I'll start again, that's down to everyone. As a different style in the hobby, I suppose. Hope you have a great evening. I'm from the other side of the water in the Netherlands. Happy days. Nice to see you in the room, mate. These look lovely. Do they bigger size? Not sure what that means. Do they grow bigger size, or not sure. It looks so small on camera, but I think they are very big when you see them in person. Yeah, so just for instance, for people that don't know, for instance, because the camera is always deceiving, so these shower filters are 1 metre in length, so when they go past the shower filter, that will give you a bit of an idea. But the biggest fish I've got in there is 90 cm, and the smallest is in there, I would have said, it's got to be at least 55 cm now. That's a nice pond. And if there is anyone new in the room, if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, it does help out a lot. There's loads of different styles and content on my channel for the people that follow the channel on a regular basis will know, but if you're new or thinking about getting into the hobby, my channel sort of involves a bit of everything: how to build a pond, how to look after fish, how to build filtration on an expensive style, on a DIY budget style. I try to cover a bit of everything really, and then I also try to make it a bit entertaining as well with certain videos that I put out. I also like trying to visit as many koi dealers as I possibly can. The only downside about that is that they're so far spread out. Travelling to these places can be quite expensive, so I've still got a hell of a lot of dealers to go and visit, because the ones that I have visited I've got on so well with. It's sort of like, it's like anything in life, it's like if you have a builder that does your building work for you, or your car mechanic that you take your car to every year. If you're happy with the service, what you've got or where you go, it's where you go back to, isn't it? So as a content creator, I do try to cover as much as possible. Oh wow, 90 cm. Will they grow bigger, and how old is that koi? So that koi's got to be coming into 7 or 8 years now. It's probably at its maximum at the moment. I wouldn't say it's going to get any bigger, but the sort of the golden number, I suppose, for any sort of koi hobbyist, if you're growing it yourself, to get to that magic 1 metre, which is pretty much impossible for a lot of us here in the UK, but in the right pond with the right environment, heat, food, and genetics of the fish and type of koi that you're trying to grow to that size, that is the sort of magic number. It always used to be sort of your 80 cm, but if you can get most koi in the UK unheated pond, if you can grow that fish to sort of 60 to sort of 80 cm, then you've done very well. Can you tell something about the different species there are in your pond? Yeah, so if you're new to the hobby or you're not sure, so they're all koi. It's like dogs, they're all dogs, but there's loads of different breeds. So every breed will have a different name. So for instance, this fish down here, this is a Ginrin chagoi, which from the carp fishing background would be very similar to your standard common carp, but the Ginrin means the shiny scale, so it's got shiny scales on it, which makes it the Ginrin chagoi. And then your standard one here, for instance, which is just orange and white, that there is a kahaku. But it can get super confusing, because if I start talking too much about all the different varieties, it can get really just like mind-blowing. So the fish at the back is called an achiba. And I'm just waiting for them to come up so you've got a bit of a better look. Just started a little channel up called Collie Koi. How did You push your channel on. I only have a couple of shorts on there, thanks. So it's all about making videos that's watchable for other people. So if you make a video, and I'm no expert because, well, I'm not an expert, I just do what I think's right, which has helped my channel out quite a bit, is always be honest, always be true to yourself, be who you are in real life on camera and who you are in real, on real life or in real life. There is the magical, wonderful thing of editing, which certainly does help cut out certain bits when you get your tongue tied or you've mistaken or said something incorrectly. But the main reason of using that editing tool for me is, for instance, if you're doing a job or doing something DIY and you have to walk out to your shed to get your screwdriver, if you think about it like a movie or something watchable, people don't want to see the footsteps it's taking you to get from wherever you're to walk to your shed to get your screwdriver, to walk back to do the job. People like to see things quick and instant, so you want to make it watchable by skipping out those footsteps in between going from your house to your shed to get the tool that you need to do the job, if that makes sense on a real quick, easy, short scale of things. But the whole thing is to try to make anything that you make watchable for other people to watch it and interest the people that wants to view it. What editor do you use as new to all this? So I only use the what's it called, iMovie on your iPhone or iMac. But one thing I do recommend is to, we're not going to talk about this for ages because it's a bit uncoy related, is just literally whatever like editing software that you use, keep using the same one, don't swap and change, because they are hard to keep an eye on. Like if you want to cut something out of a movie or put something into it by adding sound, music, B-roll or anything like that, it's you know, especially if you're like me, which is all self-taught or self-learned, if you change to a new bit of software, you've got to start and learn all over again. His boy does the heavy lifting, laugh out loud. James was good to watch because we saw him build all of the pond. Yeah, that was true. That certainly did help the channel, from me going from a DIY sort of budget pond, learning about, you know, different styles of filtration that works well, always, you know, wanting this dream pond that you see in front of you. It's really made the channel, I believe, and me, what I showed of from start to finish doing the job that I did, it did give me a hell of a lot of respect for doing what I did, because it wasn't done on YouTube before that way. It was never seen before, and I thought, I mean, there was obviously people that built ponds and put it on YouTube, but they didn't edit it and vlog it the way that I did it, week by week, stage by stage, step by step, start to finish. So Red Rose Corey, hi mate, have you tried the FD food? It's been in your filter house ages. So yeah, I had 4 bags of that when I was at the show last year. I used all of that and I was so happy with it, I actually bought another 2 bags. So the bag in there, the reason why it's in there is because I ran out of time to use it up basically before the water temperature got cold, because I could only use that at 18 degrees. Oh, I've missed out on a load of pond. I like the white one with a little bit of black. It reminds me of a cow. I'm working on a farm, so that's the reason. Fair play. So that fish is a Shuro, but you can also get black and white Becco. But yeah, we actually had one before that, which was a bigger one, which was called Daisy. Don't know why, the wife called it Daisy, I suppose Daisy the cow. And this one's called Daisy 2.0. That's a big fish. Yeah, the biggest one I've got is this one down here. So if you come from the carp fishing background, easily over 24, 26 pound in weight, that fish. Easily. Just got delivered a nice glass of squash. Collie Koi. Are you happy with all the fish you have in your pond, or are you looking forward to replacing any? So yeah, that's always one of the hardest things to do. So any koi hobbyist will probably agree with me that pond space is such a massive importance for the more that you learn in the hobby. And what you forget is that a fish, for instance, like what's coming up to us now of this size, potentially can grow into a fish of this size, which this one is just gone massive really since I've owned it. I got that fish from Springbank Koi, and he always told me it was going to be a big girl. When it come to me, it was lean. He knew it was lean. He said it just needed some food. Or I've owned that fish 3 years, and it's what's the quadrupled? Yeah, quadrupled in size since I've had it every year. It's actually called Chunk. But yeah, the biggest problem of anyone's pond is that we always need to pond bigger and forget that the fish grow. And it's no different than, like, people will think and say there's loads of room in that pond, you can get more fish in there, but there isn't. I'm actually overstocked. I'm lucky in the way that I'm super over filtrationed, so I've got the filtration that I've got on the pond is dealing with it, but pond space for water quality, to keep the growth, to keep the healthiness of the pond, the water quality is more, quality of water is more important than the clarity of the water to help keep the fish growing. But it is very difficult to say, like, you want to get rid of a fish, because like this fish down here in front of me now, this is a massive fish. It's a kajaku, but it's not the best looking kajaku in the world in the way of like the pattern, but I've had it for such a long time. For me to replace that fish and get something of the same standard or size, if you look at perfectionists with different style and quality of fish, you can pay thousands and thousands of pounds. And one thing that I've noticed, especially over the past 2 years, the prices of koi have gone through the roof. I mean, if you look at any koi dealer's website, and this ain't me judging them because I've been to Japan and I've seen the pure price of how much these fish are anyway, but if you look at some of the prices of these fish, I was actually looking last night at a couple of fish, and where it's got the Richter scale where you can put in your budget to show what comes up, well, I put from 3,000 to 10,000 in, and I was surprised the amount of fish that were on the website of that value. When I showed the wife, she said to me, she said, people don't really pay £5,000 or £6,000 for a fish today. And I said, well, yeah, in a way, that's a low budget compared to some of the prices of how much these fish can be. Me, myself personally, I would never pay that sort of money for a fish. And I look at the people that whinge at me about that the shower filters that I've bought, which was £1,000 each. that's, in my eyes, that's £1,000 that stays there forever. It can never go wrong, it can never break, it's stainless steel, it's there for the rest of my koi pond career. And I look at it and I think the amount of money that these fish are, or some of these fish are, with the different people that I meet in the industry as well, and they don't mind spending £500 or £600 on a fish, but they whinge about spending money on the filtration. And to me, in my eyes, filtration and the quality of like a filter, for instance, especially a drum filter or any filtration, is more important before you buy expensive fish. You're always better, really, is in my opinion this is, and everything that I say, I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way, it's just my opinion of the hobby, is that I believe that you're always better to buy fish at a smaller size and grow them on yourself and watch them grow, unless you can get a good deal where the dealers do like an end of season deal, or you get a good deal at a show. And it also comes down to your living allowance budget, because anything like this is always a hobby. So what always comes first is, like, you know, your family, your house, your bills. If you haven't got the money to do that, and then, like, I've been super lucky over the years of running the channel, and it's helped me get to where I am, and I'll never forget, like, doing that. Obviously I've paid for it all myself, but like, what I'm trying to say is, like, different sponsorships and promoting different products, getting to try and test stuff out. The reason why I started the channel 6 years ago was to help me afford running my hobby, because it is an extremely expensive hobby, and I've been super lucky in doing what I've been doing, and yeah, that's just how it is, really, to be honest. But yeah, the price of fish is just, I was looking at the price of the fish food when I was in the koi dealers the other week, like 5 kilo bag of Sakai fish food, £105 for 5 kilos. I mean, in the summer when this pond is eating 1 kilo a day, 5 days, and that's £100. That's more than what I would eat as a family, more than my family food bill for the week in koi food. So there is obviously different brands and stuff. I'm just one example of food. In the summertime, when I am putting 1 kilo of food into this pond a day, growing them is a bit more fun, certainly. And it's part of the reason, for the people that don't know, there is another pond sat over there. The reason why I don't film that pond is just because of the Wi-Fi, but that's a growing on pond for the people that are new or not seen before. So there's another pond over there, which basically you buy smaller fish, which in this pond 3 of them got moved over. So you buy sort of like your 40 to £100 sort of fish, put them in the pond and grow them, because growing the fish, sometimes at a small size koi, for instance, they look absolutely fantastic, and then when they get bigger, the pattern changes, or something develops, or it doesn't quite meet your expectations of what you're looking for. And sometimes it's the other way around, so you buy a fish that don't look so good, buy small, which happens quite a lot, and it's what you've got to look for in a fish that's potentially going to turn into a nice fish. But that takes many years of experience. But it also comes down to, do you buy that fish because you like it yourself personally? And I believe that is the only reason why you should buy a fish, not because someone else tells you to buy a fish, unless you're doing it for a show to win a plastic trophy. £100 limit on a koi, and stick to it. Yeah, I mean, I paid myself, like the Makashi Ogon at the back, that cost me 900, which the conversation to the wife when I spent £900 on the fish was not easy. What type of fish grows big, or is it all types? So your karashigoi or your chagoi, they always grow big, but there's different factors in growing fish big. Like, you can grow a fish big quickly under different conditions. It's a bit like bodybuilding. So if you look at an average guy, for instance, and I like always talking about it in different terms so people understand it a little bit easier, because in the right conditions with the right fish food, like if you're feeding the best quality food, then the fish is going to get more of a more enhanced diet. So it's like a bodybuilder. If you eat crap, junk and shit, for instance, then a bodybuilder will spend a serious amount of money on their diet, will be the most important thing. And then it comes down to the water quality, which the water quality comes down to your filtration, so the filtration that you've got running the pond. And then it also comes down to temperature. So certain types of food, you need to have the right temperature in a pond to grow a fish big. So it's a lot of factors into growing a big fish. Sounded like she was whispering when his head was in the pond. Yeah. And she shouted on the way home. But in any hobby is expensive. Like I'm sometimes I get involved in too many hobbies. So carp fishing was a very expensive hobby, me building up all of the gear that I bought. But once you've got it, if that makes sense. It's like any hobby. All hobbies are expensive. I don't know if there is apart from walking, I suppose, if that is a hobby, but I think all hobbies can be expensive, different bits of equipment, and a lot of it is eye candy. Like, do you actually need it? Like, is it all essential, or do you buy it because it's part of your hobby and it makes you happy? Then, you know, life's short, so if you can buy it and you get the enjoyment out of it and you can afford it, crack on and do it. Good walking shoes ain't cheap. No, but they certainly ain't. I do like the banter. We're getting a bit of banter coming now. Mrs. Whisperer wasn't whispering, I bet. Started to get the lights up in the room. 27 lights going on. Just chucking a couple of pellets in. I'm not going nuts, it's just so the fish come up so you can get to see them, because else they just sit underneath here and you can't see them. Love my carp fishing. Yeah, me too. But like, even like the price of going for a 48-hour trip now, certain venues, you know yourself being a carp angler, just to go out for 48 hours on a bank, you're talking £25 a night at its cheapest. You're talking at least a kilo of boilies, which is another 15 quid. You always buy extra food and bits and pieces for the 48-hour or 24-hour while you're on the bank, and before you know it, with driving to the location, just by doing one weekend, you can easily spend 100 quid. But in my eyes, if it's a hobby and you get enjoyment from it, and you go to work and you earn some money, you get to the weekend and you don't do nothing, and then you go to work again the following week and you don't do nothing, there's no point in living. So it's the general saying is that you don't live to work or work to live. I can't remember how they say it, but it's something like that, isn't it? You work to live, you don't live to work. And it's exactly the same in this hobby. You don't have to feed a premium koi food. You don't have to have a specialist DIY, or it's not DIY, specialist drum filter with all of the equipment. You don't have to have water trickling into your pond at all times. You don't have to have a fish feeder on the side of your pond. But if you want to have it, and if you want to do it, the option's there for everyone to do what they choose to in the hobby. As long as you get the same enjoyment out of it, in my opinion, that's all what matters. Any problems with fish coming out of winter, James? Well, at the moment, they're still in the winter period. So I have noticed over the week, last week when I started trickling in a bit of fish food, that occasionally the odd one or two would have a little bit of a flick or a little bit of a rub, and that can be down to a lot of things at this time of the year, because obviously water temperatures climbing, which can wake parasites up, but it also can be water quality, because the bacteria is gaining again in the filters because it's been dead over the winter because the water temperature's been so cold. So it's always best to keep an eye before you go balls deep and get stuck in and think, oh, I saw a fish jump or flick, I'm going to chuck PP in the pond, or FMG, when you don't really know what's going on. Just keep a close eye. That's what I do myself, and just to see what happens, because I always find coming out of the winter, 9 times out of 10, it's generally the water quality more than anything, with the fish food being added to your pond. And I am adding it a little bit earlier than what I should do, I suppose. But the fish are like looking for it. They're looking like they're hungry. They're looking like they want to eat it. You can see them all now. They're all sort of looking around for it. And I am only feeding at the moment the NT Labs prebiotic, probiotic, Medikoi, and that can be fed and digested down at 5 degrees. So I know myself personally, the water temperature is at 9 degrees in the pond at the moment. And like I said, I had like 20 pellets, and I've probably got about 5 or 6 left. So it's more really just to get them floating around, and I am chucking them to certain fish so they're all getting something. Kazumi Lacto Back helps. Certainly does. All of that type of thing, adding a little bit of beneficial bacteria to your filters. Same with mine, I've had a few out for scrapes but found nothing. Yeah, so sometimes you're better off really to just, at the moment this time of year, just let them be, because water fluctuations are changing all over the place really, up and down with temperatures, and especially if you have chucked in any food, that can, you know, change the water chemistry in the pond as well, so that can also make a fish flick or flash. Yeah, temp changing at the moment certainly are nuts, mate. I notice it more, to be fair, I notice it more in the grow-on pond over there, because that pond really is like from there to the floor, it's an above ground pond. So that temperature in that pond certainly gets colder than what this one does. So all the filtration being behind the back of here, locked in a cupboard, all insulated. Yes, the shower filters are running, which cools down the water, but they're running at the lowest speed possible at the moment. So the turnover rate on the pond's as slow as it possibly can go. I have got the opportunity to turn them off completely so the water's just circulating in the pond, but I do like running the shower filters on this pond all year round, and this pond does not get nowhere near as cold as what the other pond gets. My pond is at 10 degrees, so a couple pellets every day. Yeah, fair play, mate. I mean, last week this pond actually got, temperatures got to 14 degrees. So the fish feeder got turned on. I made a video about starting up your pond, koi season started, rah-de-rah-de-rah. And then all of a sudden, like yesterday, temperatures dropped right down to sort of -degrees overnight. Not the pond temperature did, but the air temperature. And I mean, I went for a walk down the shop last night just to get milk and bread and stuff, and I took a coat down with me. Time I got back holding the carrier bag, my arm was frozen, and I was like, this is a bit unexpected. And it's a bit like when I used to go carp fishing, I used to pre-plan. So like when I was carp fishing, I'd pre-plan like 2 or 3 weeks in advance, and I'd try to check the forecast and think, oh, is it going to be raining when I'm setting up my bivvy? What's the weather going to be like? Is it going to be a full moon? What's the air temperature like? Because thinking about different bites that you might get. And I do the same with the pond as such. So I always try to pre-plan in advance what the temperature is going to be like for the next 2 weeks. But Mother Nature is Mother Nature. If it says it's going to rain by an app telling you that it's going to rain tomorrow, and you don't do something because the app tells you that rain's coming in, and the whole day is sunny and it doesn't rain, you don't know what's going to happen sometimes. So sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do what you think's right. But this always surprises me when I come out here on a live and I start talking yibbity yabbada. I've been on the live now for 56 minutes. 61 people in the room listen to me yibbity yabbada on about koi and this and that and everything. And we got 31 likes in the room. So if you are still in the room and you haven't liked it, I always like to see those likes go up. Very much appreciated. But yeah, has anyone got any plans for any filtration that they're upgrading? One thing I do recommend at the moment, which I'll be doing mine tomorrow, changing the UV bulbs on the actual UV sterilizer. So it's a great time of year at the moment, the start of the season. I always recommend for people, like, if you change it now, you before the sunlight's hitting the pond on a bigger scale, because there's more sunlight to the pond on a more regular basis, that your green algae and your blanket weed, if you nail it now with a new UV bulb going into your system, I always find it certainly helps in what it does by letting yourself get a problem and then think, oh, I need to replace the bulb, but you've already got a problem and you think putting a new bulb in is going to fix it. It's always easier to do it now before the damage is there. I've got loads to do and I'm disabled, so it's slow work. Yeah, but fair play, mate, you're still doing it and you're still cracking on, so take me out off to you. We got Darren Webb in. Hi James, how's tricks? Very well, mate, hope you've had a good weekend. Thinking of getting a backy shower? Certainly recommend them. I mean, not everyone likes them on their pond, which I get. Me, myself personally, I really like the look of them and I like the sound that it creates. Like a nice trickle sound, the sound of the running water. When you're sat in the garden, for me it's relaxing and peaceful. I enjoy it. But I believe myself that it's the best form of filtration that you can get, because anaerobic and aerobic bacteria is two different styles of bacteria, and I believe in a shower filter is the only way that you get both bacteria. Mechanically filter your pond to start with and then run it over a shower filter, and if you can add both sections by having a biofilter as well as a shower filter, certainly improves anyone's pond. Mine dropped to 5 overnight in South Wales. Yeah, I bet it did, because it got extremely cold yesterday. And up in the valleys, as they say, I certainly imagine it being really cold. Probably woke up with everything frozen solid this morning, I imagine. Sean's Koi Pond, evening, need to sort myself out and move in bed. Yeah, there's loads of different ways of doing it. Obviously, buying one as it is can be extremely expensive. Some of the price of them now, yes, they look smart, but for £1,000 plus for some of them, just for a tank, is extremely expensive. You can make a biofilter as long as you've got it tucked away so it's not an eyesore. You can make one out of anything really, and depending on the size of it, a wheelie bin is a great bit of equipment with a lid already on it. You only need to, you know, put a tank connector for the water to come in, a tank connector for the water to go out. And the best way of doing it all is, if you're building a new pond, build a bile tank out of blocks and get it fiberglass and put the pipework all in so it's all there, so you get it built to the exact size and maximise it as big as you possibly can build it in the space where you can fit it. If it's going to be for a forever pond, that is. Because if you ever buy certain bits of equipment and you're planning on moving and you build a sleeper pond, you don't want to build something that you can't take with you. Have you got the new shower filter yet? I've seen your video taking the old one off. I haven't got it yet, but it's coming this week. But I've got some bits to do tomorrow to sort out. Can't grab them all, but just I'm going to replace my water dechlorination on this one, and then I also picked up a couple of fittings, rubber boots, so I can and a solid pipe, so I can sort that out as well. For the new shower to be put in place, ready to rock and roll. I'm still debating whether to put it on breeze blocks or build it out of a little wooden frame, so I'll probably I'll think about which way I'm going to do it anyway. The wooden frame, if I build that, people will say that it's wood, it will rot, which it will, but for how long it's going to be up there before it rots? It's not going to rot within a year, and it's certainly not going to rot within the 12 months of me putting it on. So it's depending on what I do. How often do you change the media on your shower filter? So I haven't changed it at all since I've had this pond running. So I use the Mountain Tree Lotus Root Bacteria House, which will last forever. It will never ever need to be changed. But the advantage of using the Mountain Tree Lotus Root is that it releases minerals into the pond. Well, the mineral release with the bacteria house that I use only lasts for around 2 to 4 years before there's no minerals left in the media as such to be released into the pond. So if you're using it for the mineral release, you need to replace a box at least once every 3 years. But I've not replaced none of mine in the 2 shower filters I've got there. I've added more to the pond, but I've not replaced it, and I'm not going to replace it. Not unless I see any reasons why, or something starts changing or going downhill, that's the reason why I need to replace it, because there's no minerals. But there's other supplements you can add to get minerals to the pond anyway. Your fish looking happy and healthy. They certainly are at the moment. Like I said, there might be the odd 1 or 2 that flick or flash that I have noticed myself personally, but that's to be expected this time of year, and I have just chucked in a few little pellets. How's your plans for the studio going? Any joy? No, not at the moment. It's just a little bit of a backstage plan of that at the moment, so I'm certainly not in a position to be renting or earning enough money from YouTube to rent a property to start building it. The price of renting like basically doing it on the farm's a no-go. Not going to happen on the farm, so that story's put to bed. But always keep your options open. Trying to rent a property or a facility of a size that I need just to rent that property, you're talking £1,000 plus, and to cover that cost, by running a YouTube channel without selling any product, relying on people to watch a video to earn money or sponsorships and stuff like that. At the moment, it's a bit unaffordable, especially to earn a living by, you know, paying your normal household bills like anybody else. And over the winter period, as a lot of people know, I do YouTube as a full-time job now. I'm not going to lie, it's not been easy over the winter period because obviously this hobby's seasonal. So as they say, you've got to make hay when the sun shines. And yeah, it's not been easy, but I'm doing something that I enjoy, and if I don't give it a go, like I haven't given, you know, like I am giving it a go, yeah, you just got to keep pushing on, thinking of new ideas and putting out content for people to watch that's enjoyable to watch. But one thing for sure, it certainly has not been easy over the winter period. One, to make content. One, losing a load of content that I had anyway, which was planned to be put out and released on the channel over the winter when the weather was crap. And three, obviously, you get your hardcore koi hobbyists that love the hobby, but 95% of people are seasonal. When the winter comes, they lock the pond down and they don't even go into their garden or get involved or change or do anything until the weather's nice. So they don't search YouTube to work out, oh, how do I do this? Or my fish are jumping, so I need to search a video to work out how to fix them. And because I don't sell anything myself personally, which I could do, and there's a lot of koi channels that was a koi channel that are dealers now, or they've become a dealer or becoming a dealer. If you don't sell any dry goods or sell any fish, and you're only like me relying on obviously advertisement or people watching your content to earn money, it's not easy. I'm at my pond 365 days a year. Yeah, very, very same as me. Hello from Trinidad. Happy days. That's one thing I do love about the power of YouTube, that you can reach out to so many different people. It's amazing. The koi mum's in there, look. James, did you miss the question about soak waves? I probably did. Where was that question? Sorry if I did miss it. Where was it to? Can someone write the question again? Can't see it. I do water checks and clean filters all year round. Happy days. Which a lot of people do. I'm not saying that they don't, but what I'm saying is a lot of people are seasonal with this hobby, and they get into it and then they get out of it. But the koi mum, if you can write that question down again for me, I'll sure to do my best to answer it. Only a few up from Red Rose. Let me have a look now. No, I can't see it on here. Basically, when the comment comes in on YouTube, I can only see 3 comments and then they disappear. Ian said hi, love the NT Labs kit, happy days. Have you had any issues with your soak away, blocking, etc.? I've got waste going into mine and nervous about blocking. Yeah, so basically you've got to have your sediment chamber or your silt trap. So if you haven't got a silt trap before it goes into your soak away, then you're going to get issues and problems with it blocking up. So I empty my silt trap like once every 3 months, and the amount of crap that I take out of that before it goes into the soak away, and there is a video on the channel of me explaining all of that into detail, because when I was planning mine and building mine, I asked the guys where I bought it from and they said it is essential that I put this. It was an extra 250 quid to put this basically meter bucket into the ground before it goes into the soak away, but it catches all the crap, all the fish poo, everything that goes into that, whether that be a bit of moss from what comes off the house itself, what runs down through the drains, whether that be the fish poo or green algae or leaves or crap, it all goes into that before it goes into the soak away. So the water drips into the bottom of that, and then it's got like a sieve mesh on it which don't allow any of the crap to get out, but water can get out, and it will only, granted, yeah, it might put a tiny little bit of like under 5 micron sort of stuff into it, but yeah, I've had no issues with mine whatsoever. And if you built one like I did and used the proper you know, your soak away crates and then wrapped it in the special cloth to stop shit getting in there, you'll have an advantage by doing it that way as well. But certainly I would not put a soak away in place if I was running my shit from the filter straight into it, because it would block up instantly, because that shit would never go away. I hope that's helped you out. But if you've already got it put in place and you're worrying about it, it's no different than adding, I'm sure you'd be able to add to it now to stop it potentially getting worse, or to fix a problem before it gets any worse. But it means you have to get the spade out again and dig another hole. What's your favourite koi? My favourite is the Makashi Ogon, which if it pops up I'll show you. Yeah, I'm buying a silt trap to fit into a 4-inch pipe. Is that what industrial kitchens use? Yeah, that's what mine was. I had a 4-inch pipe on mine. Exactly the same. Anything I do, what people see on the channel, I do it. If you can buy a cheap one, I'll buy the more expensive one, just to make sure it lasts a bit longer. But if I ever do get an issue with mine, because I've actually built that pond on top of my soak away, underneath that is a soak away, so yeah, if I do get any problems with it, I'm sure to let everyone know. But if there is a problem with it, then I might have to sell the house and move out quickly and do a runner and start all over again, knowing what I did wrong the first time. James, I have a ghosty and can't tell the difference between it and a Makashi Ogon. Do you, or does anyone know the difference? So if it's a ghosty and it's a standard ghost carp, yeah, I mean the difference is in real life, in person, you can tell by the fucking on the scales the scalation. You can also tell on the fins as well, but it's not easy to explain. But also the eyes as well, you can tell by the eyes. If you want to share me a picture, you can send me a picture on my Instagram page, because YouTube don't allow personal comments like Instagram allows things like that. So you can send me a picture on my Instagram, I'll accept you, and then I can have a look for you. My ghost looks like a mirror cart now. You're going to end if the shows this year for a look round. Yeah, so I'm going to the 100% going to the National. Always go to this one, but I have the past 2 years. This will be the 3rd year that I've been going, and yeah, I really enjoy going to that one. And it's not a massive distance for me like some of the other, depending where you live. Like some shows are like, it's still a 3.5 hour drive for me, but that's a lot easier than what it is like when I go to the All England Koi show. Depending on traffic, one year it took me 7 hours to get there. Start a Discord, James. Yeah, the only downside, I was thinking about doing a WhatsApp thing as well, but the only downside, obviously, you can imagine, as being as the platform as it is now with nearly 28,000 subs, not that everyone's going to join and chat, but it's a lot extra work to manage or to keep up with, if that makes sense. So I try just do it through YouTube and Instagram, and try to respond to as many people as I can. But as you can imagine, it's sometimes can be very difficult to answer questions, because like, as a personal note, on my Instagram for instance, I try to help out everyone, and I get a hell of a lot of questions like, James, do you know what this is, was on my fish? For instance, like, I had a look this morning, I had 20 comments, or 20 messages, some regarding like just how am I doing, and some regarding, James, I need some help, James, can you help, what would you recommend, I'm building a new pond. And it's not easy to reply to everyone, but I do try my best to reply to everyone to help them out. Wouldn't like to travel 7 hours for a holiday, never mind a koi show. Yeah, that's what the wife said. Discord works, you can create a community to help each other. No, that's fair play, but that's, to be honest, it's part of the reason why I when I do come live and I've got a spare hour or two, it's like now, as you can see, I know you've been with me the whole time as well, but being on live for 78 minutes is surprising that how quickly the time does pass. And obviously I don't mind doing it on a Sunday evening or if I've got time, but it's the same when I'm making content, how quickly the time flies by. And then the editing side of things, it's like there's never enough hours in the day. But sometimes it is difficult, because I always try to do things for free, like for free, to help people out and give them advice and everything. Help them out with building a pond or building their filtration, or helping them out, like if they've got an idea, to try to give them, like, especially when people's asked, like, would I do anything differently, or have they done it right? And my wife always tells me, she's like, James, if I've got a problem with my car and I take it to the garage, I don't go to the garage and ask them to fix it for me for free and then give them the keys, go down and pick it back up, and it's all done for free. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a little bit different, love, because I'm a content creator and an influencer, and I try to do it to try to help out as many people as I can. But when the channel was not as big, it was a lot easier. Now it's a little bit bigger, and obviously the amount of questions that come in, obviously it's a little bit more hard to manage. So I try to dedicate my time, so certain days of the week, or like Sunday mornings, I'll flip on my Instagram and try to reply or have a look at as many messages as I can in a certain time period, because else you can just spend your whole day just looking on that. Just sent you a message on Instagram, just want to show you my new koi. Happy days. I will try my best to have a look at that either this evening or tomorrow morning. But yeah, hopefully I don't come across the wrong way, guys, where I'm just trying to explain it in, you know, in my opinion, if that makes sense, if you understand where I'm coming from. Obviously I get sent quite a bit of pictures and I love it. I love seeing what other people's done, or you know, what they're planning to do, or if they bought a new fish. Like J5283 just sent me a new picture of his new fish. I like having a look, see what people's bought. Don't let the flame change you, James. Haha. Be drinking your tea with a pinky finger out. Oh, I love the banter. Do you miss being a butcher and going to work every day? No, that's what I get. One thing I do get a lot is people think being an influencer or a YouTuber is that you don't work. And one thing that I can say is something that I always dreamed of having, doing something or working for myself, which I didn't realise or didn't know the amount of time it takes, especially doing what I'm doing now. There's a lot more involved than what people think. Oh, he makes videos and he gets paid for it. Like, it's not as easy, and it's nowhere near as easy as what it sounds or looks to be. But yeah, getting up and in routine is something that I got to still do now. So every day I'm up at 7 o'clock in the morning and I start my day, whether that be 5-6 hours sat on the computer editing, because what people see with a video, especially if it's watchable. So we'll just real briefly talk about the video I done at Southwest Koi. So I caught the train up, so I made a video the morning before I was going up. So I edited that video while I was sat on the train for an hour, or some of that video. So then I went to Southwest Koi, said hello, done my filming, didn't realise that they had a koi event on, so that got introduced into the video as well. Come back home, edited that video, edited it the next day before I could get the first video out, and then I edited the video that I was up at Southwest Koi before I could manage to get that up online. And that there's like 2 or 3 days worth of like constant work, but without working. Does that make sense? So there's no cut-off time or finish time, but what I've learned from when I first started this is that you've got to have a cut-off time. And it's like tonight now is, for me, it's not work. This is just me having a koi chat with you guys, a bit of banter, a bit of a hello and everything. But as work, like tomorrow, I'll be up first thing in the morning, and what I done yesterday and the day before that, what I filmed, I'll start editing tomorrow. And I try to pick and choose my days wisely. So if it's crap weather and I can't film anything, I'll try to do some editing. So what you guys see on a film or a video sometimes could have been filmed last week or the week before. So it's all about putting it out in timings when the videos need to be put out, but at the same time, being a content creator is managing your time well. So if I can't film or go anywhere, or I've got nothing booked in the calendar for different people, what I'm seeing or what I'm planning to do, to sit down on the computer for 5 or 6 hours for what you guys see in a 20-minute video, because I do try my best to edit the videos to make them watchable. What you see as 20 minutes could be 3 hours of filming, and it could be 5 or 6 hours of editing, which is a full day's work for someone that's got up at 7 and come home at 5, and then they sit down and watch a 20-minute video of what I've put out. But the only thing I do miss, or the main thing that I miss, is the, even though I don't mind my own company, is being on my feet all day, like stood up, walking around, actually physically working. I can remember obviously being a butcher for 20 years, always stood on my feet, always fit as a fiddle. I always thought to myself, how has people got energy to go to the gym after work? Like, or before they go to work, they go to the gym. I always used to think, if you've got yourself a job and you're on your feet all day and you're working and you're grafting, like I used to graft hard all day, I got home, first thing I want to do is sit down, which now I see it the other way round, because I'm sat down for a hell of a long time, sat on my ass pretty much, eating a pack of digestive biscuits, editing on the computer, clicking buttons. Like, I can see why it's essential to go to the gym and get your fitness and all of that in. Because I have gained some weight since I've give up the butchers, and that's half of just being sat down, twiddling around. And because it's not like working for someone else in an office where someone's keeping an eye on you, I work at my own home, I can do what I like. So if I go down and make a cup of tea and grab three or four biscuits and take upstairs while I'm editing, I can do that 3 or 4 times a day and think, I've just eaten a whole pack of biscuits before I've even had my lunch or my dinner or my tea. So it's all learning and managing my own sort of thing, really. But I'm honest, you know I am, and that's how it is, and I say how it is. The pond costs more than he earns, I bet. Yeah, I mean, just the running cost. Obviously, now it's a business. It's obviously tax deductible. That the running cost for the water that's going into the pond, anything that I buy for the pond or anything is all part of the business now. But now it's not a hobby. I've got to earn a living from what I'm making from YouTube, and it's not been easy over winter, I'm not going to lie. You ever post content on TikTok? Yeah, so we have got a TikTok channel, but it's because it's not monetized. I don't really. I should start putting more content on it, but unless you pay for someone to start helping you doing your editing, and I'm not at that stage where I can afford to pay to bring someone on board to help me that. So like, what you notice with a lot of content creators, especially on a different scale, is that you start seeing them where they do all of the work themselves, and then they pay for someone to be their cameraman to film them, and then they pay for someone to come in and do their editing, and that's when someone's really made it on YouTube. That's like their sort of, that is the dream in the way of, but having a fish channel, doing content like I'm doing now, you know, that's never going to happen. So it's always work that I'm doing for myself. Right, Chinese food is cooling. Have a good happy days, brother. Hope you got some barbecue spare ribs and some chicken balls, mate. Have a good one. And have a spring roll as well. I'm 18 stone trucker. I've eaten my lunchbox before I finished wagon wheels. Quality, I love that. But yeah, all of that yibbity yabbity being said, I have been on for 90 minutes now, and I just realised it's 20 to 10. So I'm going to nip up, have a shower myself, get ready to settle down for bed and start again in the morning. So as I say on the channel, if I don't see you in a week, I'll see you through a window. If you did like the bit of banter and you've enjoyed yourself, I will come on a bit more often when I get 5 minutes to come on and say hello, give it a bit of hammer, and yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one, as they say. So hope everyone has the rest of a lovely evening, rest of their evening, what's left of it, and see you all soon. Thanks everyone for checking in as well. Catch you all on the next one. Bye for now.